All right, team. So today we're going to go over the next section of Marketing Made Simple. So I thought this was really interesting because a lot of it was geared around the steps to create our one-liner. And as we kind of wrapped up last week in the one-liner, it kind of unpacked a little bit further here to kind of come up with what is the best way to create a one-liner that's memorable, but also in tune with exactly what your culture is and what you're trying to achieve for your clients to attract clients, really to be memorable. Every story needs to have a problem, right? So thinking about the best stories you've heard and where there's usually a challenge. So, in the book they talked about a kitchen story with the squirrel, right? If you just kind of find everything is scattered in the kitchen and there's nothing really to it, it's like, well, great, you just have a messy kitchen. But then to make it more interesting, there happened to be a squirrel that came down from the ceiling and messed everything up in the kitchen. It was a lot of chaos and crazy, and that's more engaging of a story. So I thought about in our real lives and what we do, we have stories that come with the loans that we accomplish, that we successfully close, the opportunities that we are brought in front of us. There's usually a story behind the need for the loan, but then there's also a story for how we were successfully able to fund that deal. And there's going to be some kind of a problem that usually comes up in the process, but at the same time, it's about how we finished it successfully. And that's how we can lead to really engaging our clients to understand we're problem solvers, and this is how you'll remember us. So an example was last weekend I shot Mackie and Dave a photo of the jeweler that Kelly and I went to. It's called James Elliott. We were getting our wedding rings cleaned, and on the wall there it said serious jewels and casual people. And I thought that was really interesting because their jewelry is really amazing. And it's not a stuffy feeling when you walk in there. It's very casual. People aren't dressed in suits. It's kind of t-shirts and shorts, and you feel like you're at home when you're at James Elliott. And I always thought that was really interesting. And so the product is fantastic. You can trust the quality, but then you're also with casual people that are a lot like people that want to be casual, right? And that might not fit for everyone, but we know what we're going to get when we go to James Elliott. And so also just associate the brand with the problem. So how does your brand align with solving this problem that people have? When I look at James Elliott, I think I don't want to go to a jewelry store where there's just a counter in front of me with a million different jewels and someone in a suit trying to convince me or persuade me to buy something. I want to go there, get to know them, have a relationship, and then from there that will lead to more. Needless to say, they did show us a $20,000 necklace that I had to tell Kelly that I probably won't get that for her yet. So it was a good time though. Step two is the solution. The reason we're in business is to provide a solution to a problem, right? So how do we let a client know what we offer so they will remember us? So I thought I would ask you guys, what are some ways that we can let a client know we offer something they're going to remember? How have we done that in the past? And we can open that up for some discussion here.
I know they had mentioned too in the book, which I think goes along with this, to always use your name in the solution,
Mhm.
which that stood out to me because I feel like maybe would think that in the beginning, but not again repeating the name again in the solution. And it said like then you're associating your brand with exactly what you're going to solve. So I thought that was pretty important.
Yeah, it's a great college
Good.
job. That's right.
Yeah, I think so. So you're asking like how do we let a client know we offer so they'll actually remember?
Correct.
Uh,
Remember us through that offering.
yeah, I think I'd say probably a couple ways. One is just being clear on what it is we do offer, and then it's just repetition, as to reminding them of like, hey, I think through your process, being able to probably have that reiterated over and over again, just through your actions and words, I think is probably one of the ways that we can do that.
I would
Well,
also say,
okay.
sorry,
Go
this
ahead.
could be getting too ahead of it. But I was like solution wise, like what could we offer that they'll remember? it makes me think about last year's retreat and when we were talking about like the whole story concept. I still like sometimes think about that, how when you can like put a story to the deal, like this apartment is going to provide housing for these types of people or whatever it is, it kind of puts like that emotion and like storyline to the deal that we're doing. And then the other thing I was thinking about, which you might be getting to this later, but in the book they talked about like adding videos. I do think videos are very impactful, like as far as like testimonial videos or like kind of like a short like, you know, this is what we offer, and then interviewing somebody who's, you know, been through our process. I think those are things that people kind of that stick out to people and they remember, like if they had if there was like a really impactful story.
Yeah, I agree.
Absolutely.
And yeah, the other thing is don't get cute or clever. That really creates confusion. I mean, I've had multiple instances where I ask someone maybe what they do for a living or what they do for work. They go through this whole explanation, and then at the end, I'm like, so what do you do? You know, so they get cute and clever with what they do, and then it creates more confusion. Clarity is the key. So just remember the three keys are connect the solution directly to the problem, close the story loop, avoid cute and clever, and remember that clarity is what counts. And then step 3 was the result. The problem, solution, result should connect all together. It should be a 1, 2, 3. Anything we state should be attainable and we can deliver on. Obviously, we don't want to make false promises and then take a client down the road and then fail them by not delivering on our word. Need to say it out loud and not just go with what's written, right? So it's important to say this because it's like when if let's just say you're writing a statement or a blog, it could sound a lot better written than it does actually spoken. So it's important to not only write it, but also say it out loud, make sure it makes sense if someone is to read it out loud. And also just make sure it's simple and easily repeatable. Kind of like the nationwide is on your side, right? We always remember that. It's memorable, it's simple, and it's an easy one-liner. Also, you can put it on the back of your business card, your email signature, print it on the wall, like we saw at James Elliott. There's a lot of different ways that we can really use that one-liner and make it memorable, and also it can show up in a lot of different ways. The next piece of the book actually went on to the website. So words sell things, not colors. A lot of times we find that websites are very colorful, they have a lot of cool character to them, but then they're not really telling us exactly what the reason why we should be leaning on this product type or this company or what this company offers. So thought I would point out some of the mistakes they mentioned in the book, and that's call to action buttons that are too passive. They're not clear and to the point. Language that's cute or clever, again, talks too much about you and not inviting the client to the next story. So how can we bring the client into a situation where they tell a success story about their experience with us? Some of the right questions are, what is the problem we solve? How can your customer feel after you solve their problem? Or how do they feel? And then how do we sign up, right? So how do we sign up? And there's a lot of different things that we can look at our own website and unpack that a bit and think, are we leveraging these tools to be more productive in our website language? This was an interesting piece with the 9 sections of a website that actually work. And I know that kind of goes into a lot of explanation, but starts with the header, it moves into the stakes. What are we saving customers from, right? Is that predatory lending? Is that the wrong deal for them? Or is that maybe even not doing the deal because it doesn't make sense? The value proposition, how do we add value to our clients? The guide, introducing ourselves as the brand or the person that can solve the problem. The plan, what is the plan? Explanatory paragraphs, inviting your customer into a story. That also improves the SEO, which is definitely proven to be successful with a lot of website traffic. The video, so reiterate what's in the website in a dynamic form. I love the idea of the videos. We've done that with some deals, and we've definitely seen that is actually a way to proactively help serve clients and also provide lenders with more in-person intentional delivery of the deal. And also the junk drawer lists everything you thought was previously important. I thought that was kind of funny. And then we move into the application of the process. So that's section 1, the header. You only have one chance to make a good first impression, right? So that header really has to be important. The website is 10 seconds to resonate with the client. A lot of the times there's a lot of buttons on websites. We kind of just click through and we say, all right, this makes sense or it doesn't make sense. But then how do we stay engaged in the website? And what makes us want to continue to move forward to learn more about what Integrity Capital offers? Speak in simple and clear language. So don't have to make it too complicated. Sometimes that language doesn't always make sense to the general clientele. We want to keep attracting them to be curious, learn more. And also just answer 3 questions. What do we offer? How will it make their lives better? And what does the client need to do to buy it? I think that's the key, is how do we really captivate a client to want to learn more and also get them to follow through on the next steps? The next question is, how will it make your customer's life better? Does the client's life improve by working with us through money? Is it time, peace of mind, white glove service? What is it that we offer that our competitors don't that will make their lives better? And how will they want to keep working with us in the future? What do they need to do to buy it? The buy now button, right? That's just like there's a donate here button whenever I go on a website for a nonprofit that they're looking for charitable donations. Schedule a call. Maybe that's a great button to have on our website so we can, bring in more inbound opportunities to connect with clients. Apply here for a loan. Maybe that'll help us in order to expedite the process of the application. Customer needs something to accept or reject, and then a strong call to action. So it's maybe the next steps. Maybe it's the schedule call. What can we do to keep a client engaged, but also have a connection point to them afterwards? And what is the cost of not doing business with you? What pain are our clients feeling that we can help them avoid? Is that time being wasted, poor execution, failure to get things done? Is it confusion, not knowing where their deal stands? Is it anxiety around if we're going to actually close or not? There's a lot of different things that we help overcome clients that we should be notifying them of in the process of trying to get a deal done. And the next section, they talk about the value proposition. So how do we improve the client's experience when they work with us? What value will we bring our clients when they work with us? They never have to worry about getting a deal funded. We have a 90% success rating on getting things to closing. Closing with a smile, as I say, making sure they're happy on the way out. Can they save money by working with us? And are they getting the quality that they deserve? When you guys think about the value proposition of what we offer, what comes to mind from your perspective?
I think good communication and follow through.
Yeah, it's a good one.
I agree. I think that goes with the kind of simplified process too, just to ensure that everything will be done.
I was gonna say something like kind of access to capital, like I'm not sure how to word it, but access to like, more relationships than they would have in their, book of business. I don't know how you would say that, but
Yeah, no, it's definitely accessibility, right, to capital for sure.
Yeah, I like the communication. I like the follow through and the follow up. We never allow a client to not feel like they know what's going on. We limit surprises. That's a huge value proposition because surprises are scary in an already unstable kind of a situation of getting a commercial loan. And that's it for today, guys. Appreciate it.